my good friend Toya. She thorough, pretty thorough on the show, y'all. So listen, if you don't know Toya, Toya is a mompreneur. She is a go-getter. She's a host, stylist. She does transformation. She has her own consulting, Thoroughbred Consulting. She is the epitome of black girl who is rocking.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That was a dope introduction. What's that? That was pretty dope.
Listen.
Thank you.
Toya, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. We have Caliyah, pretty thorough. How you doing?
Good.
Listen, so y'all are amazing. You have candles that you coming out. It's definitely an amazing mother-daughter duo.
Absolutely.
Why is it so important for you to show that mothers can work well with their daughters?
Everything that we went through, the fact that we both went through a traumatic experience in the same weekend, you know, is just kind of manifested into everything that we're doing now. And it only makes sense, right? Like being a single mom is not easy. You know, I had my struggles and still go through things. And I feel like I said, it's just a part of our journey. Right. And I feel like it's a part of my mission to help other mothers and other women that may be out there going through it, feeling like they can't, you know, get through. I just felt like it was really important to show, like, you know, involve your kids, involve your daughter, your son, or in some of the things that you're doing. It's important for your kids to see you, you know, put in the work and put in the hard work and stuff like that. Especially now in the age of social media, there's so much things going on. For me, I feel like it's really imperative to include my daughter in the things that I'm doing, especially when I'm on the go, I'm juggling so many things. I deemed it really important for her to see, you know, what mommy is doing. So that way when she grow up, she'll know, you know, the importance of hard work.
Right.
And I wanted to expose her to just different things. I want her to be well versed. And so I felt like, hey, I want her to kind of see what mommy's doing. So, you know, let's say she want to take the same path, whether it be media or whether it be in a creative space. At least she's already being exposed to some of these things.
Right. And I like how you said, how, you know, you talk about the trials and tribulations that y'all went through together in the same week that was not planned, but it really, like you said, brought y'all together and made you the duo that you are today. Talk about your journey.
Okay. So in April 2018, April 14th, 2018, Caliyah suffered third-degree burns to her face from a grease fire. Well, that Friday, the 13th, April 13th, 2018, I was admitted in the hospital. So I wasn't there when her accident happened on that Saturday. That leading up to that weekend, I did an event on that Wednesday with David Banner and Hennessy. Still to this day don't know how I got invited to that event and to be a part of that event. And things was just, my business was taking off. Things was just really going well for me. We had just came back from the Stella Awards. That was the first time that my outlet was, you know, chosen to be on the carpet at such a big award show. Prior to that, I was interning, and so many things was happening. And so the week leading up to the accident, my brother came down from Charlotte to be with me to go to that event on that Wednesday. And that Friday, he came in my bedroom. I was getting Molly ready for school, and he was like, hey, you know, I'm going to drop her off to school, and we needed to go to the doctor. And I'm like, go to the doctor for what? And he was like, you know, I need to take you to the doctor. And I'm like, why? Like, what you need to take me to the doctor for? So, you know, I kept going back and forth with him. Now I'm looking at him crazy, he looking at me crazy. And he was like, you know, kind of got his little masculinity on. He was like, I'm taking you to the doctor, let's go. And I was like, okay, he's serious. And so, basically, he was like, I've been here since Wednesday and you have not been asleep. And so I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? I didn't even realize that I had been working so much. But, you know, as entrepreneurs, we watch these videos where it's like you sleep when you die, or, you know, sleep for suckers and all this other stuff. You got to go hard and stuff like that. And so I didn't realize that I had been just on go all these, you know what I mean, for so long or whatever. So he was like, you know, we need to go see someone. Anyway, we get to the hospital. They end up admitting me because they said my blood pressure was so high I was about to have a stroke. Wow. And so later that evening, so they ran a bunch of tests, and then I just remember being like in this room, and it was really cold, and it was just like, this is not the normal part of the hospital. Like it was just really weird. And so long story short, My daughter, Saturday, she ended up getting, so back up. So they ended up taking me to another hospital. Actually, the hospital where I had Caliyah, not knowing they had an area for people that was going through like just mental things. And so get there, and then Saturday my brothers came to see me at the hospital, not knowing my daughter was in another hospital from an accident that happened to her and my sister-in-law. And then that Sunday on the 15th, I'm sitting in the room with another doctor. By that time, my parents came from out of town, and they were coming to, you know, discharge me from the hospital. And the doctor asked me, "Do you know why you're here?" And I'm like, I know. And he was like, "Well, you were diagnosed with bipolar depression." And so I just instantly started crying, because I'm like, you know, I've never been suicidal. I've never been, you know, all of these stigmas we think we associate with mental health or mental issues. And, you know, I'm like, that's not who I am. And so he was like, you know, it's okay. Don't deem it as something negative. He said there's a lot of greats that suffer from, you know what I mean, bipolar depression. You got Winston Churchill. You have, you know, just a lot of leaders. Mariah Carey. You have, you know, a lot of the greats. We know Kanye West. And so he was like, you know, don't deem it as something negative. So I'm still trying to process everything that had happened. And so as I was about to get up to leave, my dad was like, "There's more," and I'm like, "There's more." Like, okay, y'all just trying to kill me at this point. If y'all want me dead, if y'all want me dead, just say that. And so my dad was like, "There's been an accident with Caliyah and Disa. Disa is my sister-in-law," and he said, I'm like, "What happened?" But he downplayed it. Like, he was like, you know, we just got to go to another hospital. So get to that hospital, and my baby is just, before I can even go in her room, I had to, you know, put on all the scrubs and gloves and mask and everything. And I'm like, what is really happening? And then I go in the room, and my daughter is just hooked up to all these tubes. She's in a coma, and her face is gone.
And how old was she?
She was 4 years old. So it felt like the scene on Face Off. I don't know if you guys remember Face Off with John Travolta, but that's the first thing I visualized. And I'm like, her face was just white. And I fell out. Again, I'm still trying to process everything. I literally left the hospital dealing with something, and then I'm at Grady now, and they were telling me that. And so, yeah, that's basically what happened. But in about, like, they took us to the family room, and they said, "Hey, the surgeon want to see you." And this is where God always shows up. Like, when you're, you know, when you're going through something so traumatic, or when he bring you to something like that, you know what I mean? It's like he always give a sign where, like, "Listen, I got your back, don't worry." And so when the surgeon ended up coming in the room, she had her Delta Sigma Theta lanyard on. And for those that know, I'm a Delta. And so she was like, and she was from up north, she was from Jersey, and she said, "Your baby's gonna be okay." And instantly, I just got this feeling that came over me, like, "God, this ain't nothing but you. Like, this is nothing but you." Because how did that happen? Like, now you got this lady who's a soror, that's the surgeon running this unit, come in, like, so it was just that indication. And so I knew my baby was in good hands. From there, she stayed in a coma for about 3.5 weeks at Grady. They took really great care of her. And so it's just been a journey.
And speaking about journey, how have that journey been? Because she has to go through surgeries. You have to be strong. You know, you have to be there. So speak about that journey and how you got to where you are now, mentally.
Well, definitely had to really make changes, because instantly I went into mommy mode, right? As parents, we sometimes don't have time to feel, and I spoke about that in my documentary. Like, I didn't have time to feel. When my baby came home, it was, you know, thank God I had a great support. I had my family and friends. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. And any opportunity I get where I could just talk about the support that I've had from my friends and family, I just want them to always know that I am grateful. And so, but I went straight into mommy mode. I had my mom there assisting me, but I didn't have time to really feel. It was like, I got to make sure that my baby getting her creams. We got to get to these appointments and stuff like that, like at the end of the day. And most importantly, I got to start instilling in her confidence, because people are going to stare. Now I got to deal with all of that. I want to make sure her mental is good. I want to make sure that she's built, you know what I mean, and prepared for what's to come. Because I can't, you know, I can't shy away from that. And I think sometimes that's what we do. We want to protect our babies, so we keep them away from the truth. For me, I was like, you know what? I got to do the complete opposite. I got to make sure she know, listen, baby, when you go out this house, they're going to be looking at you. You're going to have grown adults. What happened to your face? Which happens. But, you know, with me, you know, encouraging her and just preparing her for some of those things, I can't prepare for everything. I think that really helped. But, you know, the journey has been a journey. God, and I just definitely started incorporating more self-care. Hence, finally, 5 years later, the candle line, our custom journals. Self-care is truly, truly important, because if not, if you're not taking care of self, if you're not taking care of you, even as a mom, I had like anxiety being away from my baby for a while. You know what I mean? I felt like it was my fault this happened because I wasn't there. So for me, it was like, okay, getting over that and realizing like, Toya, you gotta take care. You gotta do some things. It's okay. Your baby's in good hands. If she's with whoever, you know, with family, you gotta make sure you take time for you. And, you know, whether that's a long bath, you know what I mean? And so every day I incorporate some type of self-care, a workout. I love baths, candles, and I've even incorporated that with my baby. Hey, mommy, I had a long day. I'm about to go take a bath and light my candle. You know what I mean? Write down your thoughts. Write in your journal how you're feeling today, because, you know what I mean? There's things kids probably don't come to their parents about, but I need you to make sure you express yourself and not hold it in, because there's so many people suffering alone.
You are amazing.
I try to
You are thorough.
I try to be.
You have pretty thorough, she thorough, he thorough, which I had, you know, I got some of the gear.
Definitely always appreciate you. Always representing.
When you think about thorough, what comes to mind?
Thorough is like a term that we used up north, right? It's that term of endearment. It's like, yo, she thorough, like she thorough, you know what I mean? And for me, I think it's how you make people feel. Right? I'm really big on that. People won't always remember what you say, but people will always remember how you made them feel. So I guess for me, I think when I think of thorough, I want when people have encounters with me that, you know, I'm not perfect, but I want them to leave feeling like, damn, that was a really great experience. Like, wow, like yo, she thorough. Like, she really made me feel, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I guess thorough is just like, you know, that term of, you know, you have persevered. You are able to keep going no matter, you know, what's being thrown, no matter what life throw at you. You're able to continue to keep going. You're able to, you know, be kind, make people feel good. You know, I think that's what we need in this world today, especially with all of the things everyone's going through. You know what I mean?
It's a lot.
So yeah, thorough is just like, that word. I love it.
Thorough. What's up? You thorough.
You thorough.
And we have Caliyah, who, you guys, if you haven't checked out Caliyah's Pretty Thorough brand, she is amazing. Dancing, all things content. What? First, I think we don't even ask children this. How are you?
Good.
You good? So what inspires you to keep going?
Shopping. And eat.
And eat. And eat. What do you like to eat?
Seafood. Seafood, Chinese. What else? Sometimes pizza and chicken and rice.
That sounds good. Oof. Listen, so when you hear the story on, you know, how everything happened, you know, with the incident, what comes to mind? Like, how do you feel?
Alright.
You feel alright? You're strong. How do you handle people looking at you weird, or when you find people eyes on you? How do you handle it?
Ignore.
You ignore it? Because you know that you're beautiful. You know that you are amazing, and you have an amazing mom who continues to get you there. What's your goal? What's your career path? What do you see yourself?
I see myself doing hair, nails.
Okay.
Mostly dancing and finishing content.
So you like creating content? Okay, little Toya. Little Toya.
She started to really look more and more like me. It's like a mini me is, man.
So speaking about your brand, Pretty Thorough, and then She Thorough, how did the two brands come together?
Me, that's my family.
Oh.
So it came together because since we got the name for my candles by me, we thought, okay, maybe we should go ahead and start embracing how we feel about each other and stuff, and how we should be more like adventurous and like visit like different sites, and how good and adventurous it is.
What makes you thorough?
What makes me thorough is that I know how to do a lot of things like dance, learn, and make food and stuff like that.
So what do you say if you see someone staring at you or pointing at you and you're out? Like, what do you say or what do you do?
If we're in public, I'll say hi. But if I'm at school, I'll shake my sis up.
Listen, Caliyah is out here and she is embracing her truth, her confidence, and loving herself. Her mom is doing the same, Toya. So let's talk about Thoroughbred Consulting and how you got into doing these amazing transformations.
So basically, after prior to Caliyah's accident, like I said, that the months leading up to her accident, there was a lot going on. February was Stella's, and then March, I had a young lady out of Ohio, a mom that contacted me, and she was like, hey, it was like midnight, I was on the couch, dozed off, and I got a phone call, and she was like, you know, I just went through my daughter's phone, and she was like, I've been following your blog, and I, you know, love everything that you're doing, your fashion, and I, you know, literally, I need your help. And I'm like, hey, you know, what's going on? And she was like, I went through my daughter's phone, and I saw a clip where she literally created an iMovie acting out her own suicide. And I'm like, okay, but in my mind I'm thinking, you calling me, like you should be calling like a doctor or something. Right. And so she said, you know, I'm looking to do something for her 13th birthday. And, you know, I was just kind of trying to figure out what I should do. I really want to build her confidence, and you know, I just have I don't know what I should do. So I was like, let's just do a photo shoot, just because I've always done photo shoots, and I've always enjoyed being both behind and in front of the camera. And so I was like, let's just do a photo shoot, not knowing what was going to happen. And so I know it was nothing but God. But they flew out from Ohio. I got, you know, my team together, the same folks that I use today as far as with photos, and my shout out to Raina, shout out to Lay, Enhanced by Lay. Called them, and at that time I didn't have like a wardrobe capsule like I have now. So my boy Felipe, who's an amazing celebrity stylist, I called him. He was on his way from church. He was like, I just did a photo shoot, so I got some clothes on me. I said, I need you. And everything, it was like a Cinderella moment, because he came. I called my homegirl. I was like, hey, I need to use your living room. She had a really big, beautiful house, and had a big empty space. So I was like, I need to use your living room. So we actually sat down. We had brunch with the young lady and her mom, and we went straight into the transformation. At that time, I wasn't even calling the transformation. I was, you know, it was just a photo shoot, or at least I thought. And I took the young lady's phone. Lay was doing her thing on makeup, you know, and I was recording her, and I was just basically, you know, just giving her words of, just pouring out words of affirmations, and just pouring like, girl, you look good, oh my God. And I was using her Snapchat, so her friends was DMing her like, girl, what you doing? Yeah. What's going on? Where you at in Atlanta? And so I was giving her those messages or whatever, as she was getting dolled up. Felipe came, styled her, and she went back to, so we took pictures, and instantly you could see this young lady's attitude shift. You know, she just went from feeling down and looking like, you know, life was over, to now she had this confidence. She go back to Ohio, get booked for her first fashion gig. Wow. All of a sudden, I go on her social media page. It was like really dark prior to the transformation. Now she on IG with her mom fur coat, playing, dancing to If I Rule the World by Nas. And I'm like, whoa, wait, this is not the same girl that came prior to. And so that's when I knew, I was like, this is it. The feeling that I got, it was a feeling like I just cannot describe. Then April, everything happened with my daughter, and so I'm like, okay, God, what are you trying to tell me? What do I need to be doing? Right. And literally, that's just how everything just like, it was literally nothing but God. Like, I'm telling you, when you will know when it's your purpose. You will know. I left my job in banking. I was working in banking. I had never quit a job before, and I left my job in banking, wanted to take care of my daughter. But at that point, I knew it was time to really go, walk out on faith, do the work. And
how was that moment when you was like, yo, this is it, and I'm gonna call it transformation?
She done transformation. I think it was, man, I don't know. When?
Does that make sense?
It just made sense. Yeah, it just made sense. It just made sense. I don't know. It just really came from. It's like everything literally just flowed. It wasn't hard. That's what I'm saying. It's God, because it wasn't like it felt like a transformation, because the individuals that I was doing these shoots for and the people that started reaching out for me to do these shoots, they were people that had already done a lot of the work on the inside too. You know what I mean? And so it was like, you guys are really beautiful people.
Right.
On the all I want to do is show that on the exterior.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you have done the work. You are, amazing. They were just amazing people. I just literally just wanted to show, what they were feeling. Right. The people that like when they shared their stories with me, the side that I was able to see during our consultations, and when I heard their story, the things that they did, do for the community and just different things. I just wanted to bring that out on the outside, really. And so that's really what a transformation. And when you think about, the butterfly, hence the butterfly on, when you think about that, the butterfly process, the butterfly effect, that's what it is. You're transforming, right? So the things that you're dealing with on the inside, people can't see. That growth on the inside, that work on the inside, and then suddenly you just, transform into this beautiful, creature, right? And that's just, I just want people to feel really good about themselves.
What advice would you give a mother who is dealing with her child with that low self-esteem, hiding and not feeling loved? What advice would you give that mom?
Definitely, talk to your children constantly. Me and Caliyah constantly talking, because I always say, I wasn't burned. I don't care. People think, oh, how do you do it? At the end of the day, I'm not a burn survivor, right? And so I don't know. Caliyah was 4. She's 9 now. I'm still doing these check-ins, right? I think it's important as parents to do these check-ins, be present, right? And I struggled with that too for a while. As a mom, I'm trying to work and I'm trying to grind and stuff like that. Your kids need your attention. They need your attention, right? And so trying to stay present and doing check-ins. Caliyah, how you feeling today? How was school? What's on your mind? Why you like you sad? On the way here, she looking on. I'm like, you okay? You really do you want to do this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why you look about to cry? Mom, I'm not about to cry. You sure your eyes look watery? So sometimes I can be a nuisance, but I want to make sure she know that, listen, I am invested in your feelings and how you feel, and you matter, right? And so I think that's really key.